And she goes, oh no, they were all messaging you. They all think you're hot and really like you. And I'm like, hi everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back.
So happy to be here for another week. Happy 4th of July.
Oh yeah, happy 4th. I
America.
hope, yeah. It kind of sucks right now.
Yeah, but that's okay. I hope that you spent the day with your friends. I hope that everybody had a good day off, if you had the day off.
That's a good way to put it. I did not have the day off.
I did have the day off.
I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. But before we get to America, whatever, Victoria, you know everything, but there's so much to talk about that I just have to jump in it because they have no idea. Because last time they heard from us is when I was at the beach. They don't know what went down at the beach.
Correct.
And they don't even know what happened this past week, which is crazy. And by the way, my TikTok video has over 40,000 views about it.
As it should.
As it should.
As it absolutely should. You should share with our listeners.
Yeah,
crazy little life.
So at the beach, I had a nice little rendezvous with a very, very handsome man with long dark hair and a beard and beautiful eyes and a smile. We met under the dock. We stayed out till 10 o'clock. I did get friendly down in the sand.
Okay. Come on, Grace. Come on.
We were out there for hours and it was great. And he really liked me. I really liked him. And he has still been texting me some. I haven't heard from him today, so I don't know if it's gonna fizzle out or whatever, but he did say he wanted to see me again. So we shall.
That's literally so cute.
We shall see. And because this main story of what happened was this weekend, even though I've already told you everything, I have to re-share the story.
Yeah, no, you
but do. I don't know if I told you, I have a terrible memory. My fellow from Maine said he wants to come down here to see me.
Yes, I did hear about that. And I think that's honestly so iconic because it's been some time.
It's been over a month since I've met him.
And he still
talks to me, calls me, and
literally will move states.
Yeah.
Will travel states to see you.
Travel states to see me. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. I don't know if it's going to happen though. He's crazy busy with work.
Yeah.
And he told me today that they're having a conference about it today, about them going to Florida and then him stopping in North Carolina to see me. So we'll see. Maybe by next week, I'll know for sure if it's happening or not.
Sounds like the effort is there though. So
yeah, the effort's there. He's definitely good. Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah.
But here's the main thing, you guys. Here's the deal, which I really just have to get off my chest. And you can totally watch all my TikToks about it too, because the world is angry with me. Not at me, they're angry with me about what happened.
Yeah.
So I matched with this guy on Bumble. I will call him by his name, Neil. Freaking Neil. Never trust a man named Neil.
Period.
Him and I were messaging and he's like, come over. We're having a 4th of July bash. This was on July 3rd. And it was Sunday night. He goes, come over. We're all hanging out by the lake. It'll be fun. And I was like, okay, here's my number. Let's talk about it. And so we're texting about it. And I'm like, is it just going to be guys? I don't want to hang out with a group of guys. It seems kind of dangerous. There were 7 guys and 1 girl, and he told me I could bring a friend. I messaged 2 different people. One couldn't go. One initially told me yes, and then bailed. Yeah. She was tired and didn't want to go. And so I was going by myself. He told me we were going to go out on the boat and have fun, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I left my house. I want to say I got there around 9 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
And I texted him that I was there. I heard nothing. I didn't hear anything from him. I saw one of his friends outside and I was just like, I'm going to say, hey, see if he'll let me in the house. The guy was like, oh yeah, you're with Neil, right? And I'm like, yep. So he let me in. They introduced me to more of their friends that were inside, as soon as we were walking in. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we're going to be going to a bar. And I'm like, what bar? And they said the name. And I'm like, I'm literally there every weekend and it's 30
Yeah.
minutes away. And I drove here 30 minutes already to hang out with you guys and go on the boat. And they're like, let's go down to the basement and meet Neil. So we go down to the basement and we go outside where everyone's hanging out. I meet more of his guy friends. I'm meeting so many guys and I've yet to meet a man named Neil. And I'm like, well,
Right.
what's going on?
Like, this is
And
sketchy.
yeah, and Neil is sitting in a chair, not getting up, not coming to speak to me, not even looking at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was really confused about what was going on because I didn't think that was him because I thought like the
Yeah.
guy I was texting would want to come up and say hi to me and, you know, actually speak to me.
Right.
Crazy to think that.
Crazy. Absolutely insane. Yeah.
Crazy to think that.
Yeah.
And the girl, I don't even remember the girl's name. She walked me over and she's like, this is Neil. And I'm like, hey. And he's like, hey. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And one of his guy friends comes up to me, gives me a beer. He lays down on the ground and is wanting me to pour beer in his mouth while he's laying on the ground. Complete frat boy behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm getting very uncomfortable. Someone finally made Neil get out of the chair and talk to me and give me a hug.
Good.
Someone had to say something to him about that. And I kept asking him, like, are you okay? Like, there's something wrong. He's like, no, I'm just tired. I'm like, if you're so tired, why am I here?
Why? Yeah. Why did you invite me?
Why am I here when you can't even have a conversation with
Correct.
me? And his friends continue to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking about going to the bar. And I was just like, you could tell I was getting mad. I was frustrated. And the girl grabbed my hand and she's like, let's go inside. I grabbed all my stuff in that moment too. Like I grabbed my car keys, I grabbed my purse. I was like, yeah, we're going inside and I'm not coming back out.
Yeah.
And so I knew. We're standing inside and she was like, I don't know why he's acting like that. And I'm like, he's not even speaking to me. And I said, like, I'm going to go home. And she's like, you're going to go. She's like, you're going to go home. She's like, I didn't know you came here just for Neil. And I said, what do you mean you didn't know I came here just for Neil?
Yeah.
He's the one who invited me here. And she goes, oh no, they were all messaging you. They all think you're hot and really like you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't realize I was texting 7 guys instead of 1. Like, that's a very dangerous, bad situation that I did not want to be in. And like, am I supposed to be flattered by this con move they all just did?
Yeah. That's my biggest thing is like, I know that they were sitting there like, oh, she's going to like, this is going to make her so happy that all of us think that she's hot. And then it's like, no, that's actually not. So disrespectful.
It's extremely disrespectful. And they just were like wanting to use me as a sexual object and item to them. Absolutely. and pour beer down all their mouths. Yeah. Complete frat boy behavior.
Yeah.
They are 29 years old and acting like that. And I said, no, I'm leaving. Like, I'm done. And then she yells outside and she's like, she's leaving. And they're like, what? Why is she leaving? I'm like, what do you mean, why am I leaving? You're acting like complete idiots. Yeah. So I walk upstairs with the girl. She's like, honestly, I would ditch you and hang out. I would ditch them and hang out with you. Like, this is like, they are acting really weird. She was like, they're honestly nice guys, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't care if they're nice guys. Yeah. Nice guy behavior does not treat women like this.
Correct.
And I don't get invited out by a guy just to be completely ignored. And so all the guys are getting in their car. I'm standing outside of the car with the girl talking and all their windows are down. And I said, I am worth more than this. I know what I deserve. And I know the kind of treatment I deserve and am worth. And this is not it. I'm going home.
Yeah.
And I think I said something like, I've never been more disrespected in my life. And not a single person spoke in that car. That car was dead silent.
And that makes it even worse. Mm-hmm. They were completely speechless.
Well, yeah. And so one of the guys got my number the next day off of Neil's phone. And I am going to read you what he texted me. So he messaged me while I was at work on Monday the next day. The friend, his name's Liam.
Yeah.
He said, hi, this is Liam from last night. I just wanted to apologize for our group's behavior. You seem like an extremely nice girl and definitely did not deserve that type of treatment. I'm sorry it wasn't nipped in the bud earlier. Sorry it happened at all. Wish we could have met under different circumstances. Just again, really sorry for not stepping in and ending that. And also on behalf of the group, Also, sorry if you got a FaceTime, messed up getting the number on my phone. I hope you have a wonderful fourth. And I said, I didn't respond back to him for hours because I didn't think I wanted to tell them
Right.
off again and like tell them where they can shove it.
Yeah.
But my mom's like, Liz, you kind of already did that. Like you did say your
It's
piece.
true.
My mom's like, it takes a big person to apologize and admit when they've been wrong. And so I messaged him back because my mom was being kind and saying like I should accept the apology.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, Liam, I wish things would have been different too. Thank you for apologizing. I hope y'all drive back safely. They were all from different areas. There was like one guy that was from here. And I remember who
Okay.
he is though, because of this next message. And I had a brief conversation with him about this. And the girl also told me this guy was like really into me, the one who ended up texting me.
Yeah.
He goes, I appreciate the thought on getting home safely. And if you ever find yourself in Nova again, sometime feel free to reach out, and maybe a good time hanging out can still come from all of it. Sorry again, and definitely do hope you enjoy the holiday tonight. Hopefully you're wrapped up with work for the day. Like he's trying to talk to me. He's trying.
Yeah.
He was trying to like hang out with me, talk with me still. And like I will say, Liam was nice to me. He wasn't rude to me like the other guys. He wasn't Neil, the guy who, well, they all invited me. So I will say that right. I will take that back. I will take that back. But I will say he wasn't like disrespectful to me while I was there, but he also didn't stand up for me. He also let them treat me like crap, like a sexual object. And
correct. He still stayed silent.
And still say, yeah. But I do appreciate him apologizing about that because he did apologize for not standing up for me.
That's 1 out of 7, correct?
That's 1 out of 7 apologies I deserve. But above all else, I deserve an apology from Neil.
Absolutely.
And I'm not getting one.
Absolutely.
Like, why
I think it's wild that out of 7 men, one of them reached out. And he seems like a nice guy, but he's also reaching out probably in hopes that you'll give him a chance.
Oh, absolutely. Because he's like, whenever you're back up in Northern Virginia, let's hang out.
So it's like, it's not even like a wholehearted, like he knows he messed up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like he's apologizing like because he wants to see me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that doesn't fly with me at all.
Yeah.
And it's really upset me and bothered me. And like, obviously that's a really horrible story and like a horrible dating. Like that is my worst date ever. It wasn't even like an official date. We were all gonna be hanging out. I knew I was hanging out with the group, but that is my worst date ever. And the internet agrees with me that it's the worst date ever.
Correct. If I showed up to a house and there were 7 men and I was one of 2 women there, I would be concerned for myself.
A lot of people commented. That's like another thing I want to talk about. Many people are commenting like, why would you go to a stranger's house? Why would you put yourself in a situation like that? I want to say that like, yes, it is safer not to go to a stranger's house. I will agree with you on that. But let's also talk about every time you get into an Uber, every time you get into a Lyft, you're getting into a stranger's car. Every time you order Grubhub, DoorDash, you're inviting a stranger to your house, hoping they're just going to deliver your food. And I think like in our modern world with dating, that dating apps are the most popular way of meeting people and and like hanging out with people. So it's not uncommon. I'm sure every single minute there's some girl or guy going to a stranger's house based off of a dating app in the world somewhere. And I shouldn't have to fear for my life or fear for my safety for doing that. And it's a thing called victim blaming. And I've listened to it about it on many podcasts. They talk about it. How if a woman, or let's say anybody, if anybody has been assaulted or a victim of abuse or anything like that, the worst possible thing you can say to them is, oh, well, you did get in that car. You did go to the house.
Absolutely.
It was you were wearing a provocative outfit.
And it's crazy. This is gonna like sound, but you know, like if we're taking like sexual things out of it, when people are depressed, okay, it's very common knowledge not to victim blame in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why do we make it a thing when it comes to sexual assault or any of that kind of thing? Like that's one of our first things, like victim blaming. But when it comes to like another side of the spectrum,
Yeah.
people are like, oh, that's the last thing you would do. Like you wouldn't do that if someone was about to, you know,
And
put
like they do
themselves in a
that.
dangerous situation. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
They do that in court all the time too. Like that's why so many people don't
Yeah.
they don't take like sexual assault or harassment cases to court. 'Cause they're like, oh well, you did put yourself in that situation. You did,
Yeah.
because they're not gonna. I hope they, like, things are getting better. I know they are. Things are better, but they're still not where
Yeah.
they need to be. And like it's very scary, the thought of like going through something like that and being victim blamed by those people.
Correct. Correct.
It's
I think it's
horrible.
absolutely insane.
No, it is. It's truly insane. And it's made me really mad, the amount of people who have been victim blaming me. And I think I'm gonna make a video about it. Like, I don't want anyone to feel bad because I think they have good intentions, being like, you shouldn't go to a stranger's house. Like, don't go to a stranger's house. But number one, I don't want to live my life in fear of, and not
Yeah.
make choices because of fear. And number two, I didn't put myself in a dangerous situation. They put me in a dangerous situation.
Correct.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Correct. And who's
Thank
to
you.
say if, no, I completely agree. You are correct. And who's to say if you brought a friend, you're still, that's
You would
the
have
thing is
treated her
you're
the same
still
way.
7 men with 2 women.
And I know, but
Okay.
like, here's the thing, I did know that going in there, but I thought I was going to be with like Neil, hanging out with
Correct.
Neil. I didn't know I was going to
Yeah.
be hanging out 7-on-1.
Yeah. And
I
you
didn't know I
didn't
was
know that
invited by
7 men
seven
were
guys.
texting you at once, like joining
No,
in on this conversation,
no, I didn't
putting
know.
all of their 2 cents in.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
It's
That is so
honestly,
annoying. I'm so annoyed. I hate when people do that. I'm like,
I
it's
know.
processing now. And I'm like, the amount of, okay.
I
Oh my
know,
God.
I know. Like, are you just now realizing like how horrific this experience actually
Yeah.
was?
Angry.
It was really
Just,
traumatizing.
yeah.
Like I called Victoria on the way home from like leaving. I was at their place for maybe like 5 minutes. And I called
Yeah.
Victoria and I was like, Victoria, I'm about to angry cry. Like I was so angry. And when I get angry, I cry.
Correct. That's just, it's so disrespectful. And
Extremely.
the woman who was in that situation, it sounded like she was
She
so
was
close to
close. She was,
being the good person, but then she wasn't.
no,
Because
she
if she
wasn't.
knew all 7, what woman is sitting around, what person, I say women because like women need to stick together, but what person is sitting around and they're watching 7 grown men,
29-year-old men.
29-year-old men text this one girl, probably saying ridiculous things about how hot, how sexy, how you can't wait to like come over.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just sitting there and letting it happen.
Letting me literally be sexually harassed by these men. They didn't say anything to me inappropriately. I mean, they did
Right.
like treat me like an object when I got there,
Correct.
but you know exactly why they were inviting
Yeah.
me over.
100%.
Did they think I was going to sleep with all 7 of them or even one
Yeah.
of them?
Even one of them.
Yeah.
No. That's why I was like,
It's,
she was so close. That girl, she like got it, but I don't
and then
think that she actually
she's
did.
like, oh, but like you can get any of them here. You can have any of them. Like they all like you. And I'm like,
Well, that's not the point.
I
That's
don't want
quite
any
literally
of
not the
them.
point. Yeah.
I want one guy who cares about me and my well-being and not my body.
Correct. And who wants to like spend time. Maybe
Yeah,
say
I thought we were gonna
hello.
go on a boat.
Oh my gosh. That is a very annoying situation.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
annoying.
sorry we took up like so much time talking about it, but like I've truly never been through anything like that in my life.
Yeah, I mean, neither have I. And I've gone over
Mhm.
to a lot of places. That's the thing about victim blaming. Hello.
Yeah.
I went through my hookup stage. I mean, yeah, I did go through it. I would travel to random places. Liz had to
You
talk
would.
sense into me
You
this
would.
past summer to like at least get a Snapchat or FaceTime from them before I went over.
Yes, make sure they're real.
Like, you never know. And that's crazy. It's just crazy.
Mhm. You know, and you always need to have like give someone your location. Like when we were together on Wisconsin, you gave me your location. I'm
Yeah.
here with my family. They knew my location. My family knew I was going to a stranger's house. But I thought I was going for like a party. We're gonna have fun on the boat. We're gonna hang out on the lake.
Yep.
No, we're not.
No.
We're gonna pour beer down your mouth and go to a bar.
Yeah, that is very upsetting. Not the way to celebrate this holiday weekend.
No,
Not the way to close it off.
It's truly traumatizing. Do you have anything you want to share about your week?
This weekend was fun filled for me. Starting Friday, as soon as I got off work, it was party time. And you know what? I drank and I drank and I drank Friday through yesterday.
I fully support it.
And I had such a good time. I met the new cast is here at the theater. The new show's happening. So the new cast is here. So I got to meet some of them at some of these parties. I got to meet some of the new interns.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
You just had a fun filled weekend.
I did have a fun filled weekend.
I think that's good. Oh, I didn't tell you. I told you. I didn't tell them, our listeners. I did make out with a 21-year-old Friday night.
I forgot about that. No, I forgot about that.
I've had the craziest week.
Now, guys.
I had a man at the beach. I had a 21-year-old at a bar, and I've had that thing go down at the party in a week.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's iconic though. I am only 21, so younger like 18, and that's despicable.
So you're 21, it would be 19. That'd be the age difference. 19, 21.
Yeah.
In my defense,
at the end of it.
In my defense, I did not know he was 21 until I started talking to him. I thought he was so cute. As soon as I saw him in the bar, I'm like, oh, there's a very, very tall man who was at least 6'5" and with dark hair. And he walked by me and my friend, and she like tapped him really fast, like to get him to turn around and look at us. And he turns around, looks at me, and he goes, I knew you were going to talk to me. I knew you were. And I said, what?
What did you say?
I was like, you knew I was going to talk to you? Like, how? And he goes, you kept staring at me. And I'm like, whatever, you kept staring at me. I was like, I know you were into me. And I was like, okay, so he was trying to give me attitude. No. I was trying to turn around and give it right back.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, I was like, okay, so let me ask you this. I said, if I wouldn't have talked to you, would you have ended up coming up and talking to me? And he was like, yeah. So the feeling was mutual. It was a mutual thing. And some people hate this. I personally don't care. I'm like, the first 5 minutes of us talking, he already kissed me like right away. He was like,
I am all about that. And
I know.
Sometimes you have to do that because sometimes you wait too long.
Agreed.
Sometimes people wait too long. And I'm only so patient, okay?
I'm like, put it here.
Put one on me.
And throughout like the whole night, like we were like, I would be with my friends, sometimes he'd be with his friends. So like we'd still always like find each other, and he's like holding my hand. There was one time he was like sitting at the bar, like sitting at a table at the bar, and he like put me in his lap and all. We're just sitting there like he talking.
I agree. Like you can I think it's very obvious just from like a quick eye contact, first couple conversations, you can tell whether you're feeling each other or not, so you might as well
you might as well
feel each other. Okay,
you might as well just go.
I completely agree. And it's had a 100% success rate on me personally.
Good.
both
Good.
ways. Both ways.
Good. I'm glad.
I say go for it.
Yeah, hopefully just next time it's not with a child. A 21-year-old child, I should say.
A 21-year-old child. Yeah.
He still texted me for a couple of days afterwards. He's not from here either. He's from like New Jersey, and he's like, come visit. And I'm like,
oh my gosh, I could go visit. New
visit.
Jersey's right by me.
I'm like, whatever you want, honey, whatever.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, that was my weekend.
Good.
Lots of partying, lots of drinking, and I haven't been drinking at all today. So
but that's how 4th of July weekend should be.
I agree. If you're not drinking at 11 a.m. every single day,
what are you doing?
Don't talk to me, because I am. Okay, I am. And I don't know what everybody wants from me.
I want you to continue living your best life like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I support you.
After we get done finishing this episode, I'm probably going to go drink.
I'm going to go eat some pizza. So
yeah. So with all that being said,
like, rate, review, subscribe, go watch my TikToks, because I have like rants. I have so many rants on there right now. So go look at that.
Yeah. Do all the things.
Do all the things.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Elizabeth. Like the queens.